We are amazing beings, we humans. We have abilities beyond what we could even wildly imagine if we only allowed ourselves a chance to experience what we really are.
So why is it that we are programmed to be ordinary people, if not losers?
Control. If we really knew how powerful we are, then we probably wouldn't follow the system. And the system can mean many different things. It can be political, religious, dictatorship.
The Roman Empire, they didn't fall. It just turned to Catholic Church. All the wealth that they had transferred it to church. So
Point. Yeah.
tax-free.
Yeah.
And they were the empire still, but they had the authority from the God. It just switched from church
To state.
I'm gonna use a great icebreaker here.
Aha. All
Yeah.
right.
We're gonna go straight to the point.
Uh-oh. I should know what that is, shouldn't I? I should be able to.
Yeah.
But I don't.
So we open it. So why is it that we are programmed to be ordinary people, if not losers?
Ooh. It's a good icebreaker, Marnie.
Yeah.
Control.
Hmm?
In my opinion, if we really knew how powerful we are, then we probably wouldn't follow the system. And the system can mean many different things. It can be political, religious, dictatorship, whatever. But that's my answer to you. Control. We are amazing beings, we humans. We have abilities beyond what we could even wildly imagine if we only allowed ourselves a chance to experience what we really are. I promise you we wouldn't be stuck in the system as much as we are.
So the system, regardless of what system, it can be a religious authority or theocracy.
Mm.
Because
Yes.
if we want to go back into history and look back and see how they've been treating the public
Yeah.
and how it just switched from church to
State. Yeah.
states, and at the same
Yeah.
time, like, because it was funny because I was listening to this guy talking about Roman Empire, and he says the Roman Empire never, like, they didn't fall. It just they turned to Catholic Church.
Aha.
So all the
Yeah.
gold, all the wealth that they had, they just transferred it to church. So
Yeah,
it's
good point. Yeah.
tax free,
Yeah.
and by that time they still have the control over the whole population of Christian
Yeah.
society, which was divided in so many countries.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the empire still, but like they had the authority from the God.
Yes.
So
How interesting. I
yeah,
hadn't thought of that.
I'm not sure how accurate he is. He's a comedian. His name is escaping my mind, but he's a comedian. So, but he wasn't in one of his sets that he says that it was a serious talk. So he's a British comedian.
Okay.
Yeah. They know better for
I
some
see.
reason.
Oh.
The accent makes it better.
Yes.
More believable, more legit. So I guess I'm asking this because most people don't know who they are.
I would say that's true.
They know their name,
to some
they know,
degree.
yeah, they know like how they are, and they know where at life they're at. Not necessarily all of them, but most of people know. Okay, yeah, I'm this and this. Uh, I am Joe Blow. I am having this job and this
Mm.
life, and I think I have dreams, I have wishes, but based on my current situation, it would stay a dream.
Yes.
It's not achievable, and I think we don't even try to identify what it is that we want and what it is that we have passion for and have uh,
Yeah.
what it is that we dream of.
Mm. I would like to blame our education system for a big part of that too. And it's something my mother was always upset about, was that she saw that the education system was just a job training education, whereas real education would be training us how to live. And when we think about when we're small children, we haven't had anyone bashing us into us what we're going to do or be, and we have dreams and fantasies, as you well know. And I really feel that, as a child we do know, but then as we get into the education system, that kind of gets stamped out of us. No, that was just child stuff. No, you can't be this or you can't be that. That's no. Be something useful, something that makes profit. I'm being a bit facetious, but I think there's some truth in what I'm saying.
Because if you want to go back in history or like unknown history of human, and let's go with the narrative that there is about Anuna and Anunnakis trying to create a race of workers for themselves.
Sure, yeah.
And I think regardless of if you believe it or if you can prove it, that happened, but it says something about us modern human now, that we subconsciously have the need to follow some type of authority and like submit our rights or submit our will to them. And it's just one system following up another system throughout the history, regardless of what country you've been living in. It can be like from Mesopotamia to modern cities. It still have the same structure.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't matter as much. You have to participate and contribute to the society, and you're lucky if you get enough to survive and pursue.
Yes.
So, and it was interesting because this concept of religion probably happened because those entities, Anunnakis, some of them, based on what I heard, I don't know, would prefer humans to worship them.
Okay.
So they kind of start this concept of worshiping and amen to someone.
Yeah.
So that's the start of this whole concept of religions and being like submitting your powers and never try to step out of line and just be happy that you survive, and with your gracious we're gonna continue. Thank you. And
yes,
like it prevents us from actually figuring out, actually searching that who we are and what we are really.
Yes.
What power we contain as human. And to get in touch with our true self, I guess. And it just repeated itself throughout history, and even now in modern society, when you talk about this stuff, it's like they cannot be quicker to dismiss it.
Yeah.
Say, you say human psychic? Yes, sure. Yeah, okay. I have to take this call. Sorry, and they just it's like you're the crazy one in the room,
Yes, of course.
and you're the one that somehow lost it.
Yes. I see that we are all gods. I see we're all one anyway, but to me we're all godlike beings. That's a better way of putting it. But so much of our potential has been suppressed, or what's the word, belittled, that, you know, when we start to look at what we really are, these things give us great information as to who we really are and what we are capable of. And I know we're going to be talking about psychic powers and the likes shortly, but this is one of the things I mean, that this is something, it's something we all have, and it's a natural part of us that has been suppressed, and we've been told that it's hocus pocus and scary and voodoo and all these sort of terms. Whereas natural fact, we experience psychic things every second of our lives. And it's just learning to understand what they are and what they're for and how to use them. And I hope I haven't sidetracked your plan.
No. It's actually going exactly to the same
good.
direction.
I knew.
Yeah.
See, I just knew.
I think because of lack of understanding of who we are and what we are, we kind of locked into the concept of physical world.
Yes,
And
very much.
yeah, we let it control us,
Mm.
the outside world. Let it define us, let it control us, let it influence our decisions. And it's like you live a life for outside world. You don't live it because you want to live it that way. And I'm guilty of that too. Like from time to time, I'm doing stuff
Oh,
that has nothing to do with my personal will or personal preference.
absolutely. Me too.
Just to look, how do you say, normal or acceptable. And there are stuff that I hate, but I do it anyway.
Mm.
And that can give you a good indication that, so who is it that forcing this kind of pattern of thinking that you need to, you need to just follow the law. I mean, I understand that following the law, because we are like living in a society.
Sure.
We need to have some type of structure, but there are so many unwritten and untold laws that we create as humans, or it has been created somehow for us, and it's just take extra work to like, and I think it's cultural, but it's designed. It's not like it just happened to be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I think because we are confused with our identity, and by our identity, I'm not talking about our gender or our career or anything like that, because that's very private.
Yes.
But who we are as people, who we are as a human, that's something that we need to work on, we need to talk about, and what we're capable of.
Yes.
What are the limits? Who put those limits? and who try to create this structure that is like almost like a private prison for you that you create yourself.
Yeah.
Like you put limit around you, like, oh no, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. That's for people that are like that or this. And there are some anomalies. There are some lawbreakers that not necessarily criminals. I'm not talking in that sense, but
Breaking the mold.
breaking the boundaries
Yes.
of
Boundaries, that's a better word.
of this like unseen force that
Yeah.
oh no, because it happens within you. It doesn't happen from outside.
Yes.
It can be influenced from outside.
Yes.
Like since you were a kid, since you've been brought up in your family, in the education system, and then later on the society, you've been programmed to not believe in yourself, to doubt yourself, to
Yeah.
not be fearless, to not be outspoken and outstanding. To like how do you said it best yesterday, to stay in the line, keep on going in the same pattern that
Yeah.
you have been told, and just obey. And
Yes.
I think we have good examples of people who are breaking the boundaries and breaking like that patterns, and they try to like just stay true to who they are, and they try to figure out who they are,
Yes.
and I admire them for it.
I feel that's one of the big lessons here on earth, is to really establish, who am I, as you say, who am I without what society has put on me, which is what you're talking about a lot, but also without all the fears and things that we bring with us. So we have really a double lot of challenges there, that we to figure out, okay, who is the inner me, and in a way, who is the outer me? How once I figure the inside out, how does that person fit into this situation here, this society, in a genuine way, not in this idea that you're saying that we have dumped on us, that we must follow the pattern. But okay, who am I really?
I'm not saying necessarily everything that we create as a society structure or
No, I understand.
is bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that,
Of course not.
I'm trying to be fair and see what's good and bad, pros and cons with everything. But I believe the way we raise kids, and I'm not talking about anyone's kids or anyone's childhood. I'm talking about my personal experience as a kid, and just because that's the real experience that I had. So that's something that I can talk from.
Of course, that's all we can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, like, I remember nobody asked me what you like, and nobody tried to identify what I'm good at. It was like you go through this system of education, regardless of, it's not individualized to you. It's like, yeah, you from the early ages you understand you are not that special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you shouldn't even think in those terms. And you just have to get along with everybody else, and you have to try to fit in and not do anything that makes you stand out, and because then you're gonna receive hate, and you're gonna get yourself hurt. And to some degree it's true, like it would happen because of this structure, because that's been told to everyone. So everyone has that concept, and when someone stands out, it's like you're doing something wrong. I don't like it. If I don't get to do it, you don't get to do it. So it's like we policing each other
Yeah.
over
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's like the authority doesn't need to even get involved. So what I can say from my personal experience, like I would wish when I was 6, 7, 8, like someone will sit with me and talk to me and like try to help me out to identify what it is that I'm passionate for, what it is that I'm good at, what's my interest in
Yeah.
life,
Oh,
what do I want to do with my time. Not just sat me down 8 hours in a classroom that I hate with the other kids that are filled with hormones, and they're like kind of, it's like I don't know, it's like putting a fucking atomic bomb in a room that wants to explode any
Yeah.
second, and you just hold it down. And no wonder like people develop this all new, mm, I don't know if it's new, but all these modern diagnoses, ADHD, ADD,
sure. Absolutely.
these all
Yeah.
come from like you experiencing something that is not matching with your energy, with your
Yes.
brain frequency, and
Oh.
you have to adapt and hold on, and you lose focus, you become dyslexic, you all this because your soul and your mind is under unnecessary pressure. And you brought up in that type of structure, and then later on in life, depression and anxiety, these are the effects of what you could easily prevent and avoid
Sure. Yeah.
if it was more individualized. Our education system was more individualized, and I'm not saying every kid needs to have its own their own teacher. I'm not talking like that, but we could have at least have people belong to groups
Yeah.
and identify them as a group. Oh, this
Absolutely.
group of kids, they have similar interests, they have similar skills, and they're good at this type of stuff. So we're gonna invest on them, not other way around, as you said.
Yes.
Like, okay, what need do we have in the society for career or for workers? So
Yes.
let's make that popular. So we don't even have to do the dirty work. Parents will do it for us, because parents wants you to be able to find a job, to have a career, to have a good life,
Yes.
and it's all with good intention and love. But what's unseen here is that it's being controlled. The narrative, which nobody seems to care about nowadays. As long as I don't know, who cares about narrative? I'm making money, I live my life, who cares? It's like, no, you should care. You should care what the narrative is. You should question it. How does that benefit me? How does that benefit us
Yes.
people? And if it doesn't, then you should find out who does it benefit. And then you find the person that started that narrative, and you find those group of people that trying to, how do you say, trying to control and like
Yes.
puppet.
Directs.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. Direct the
Yeah.
whole show.
Can really relate to what you're saying, Marnie. And I'm just in reflection realizing that my childhood was a strange mix of great encouragement from my family, my parents, and then hitting this kind of barrier of secondary school. I went to a very traditional single-sex school in New Zealand, very based on the old English system. It was so dry, but I had parents that were the opposite. They really encouraged us for children just to be whatever we chose to. And one thing I thought of was, I created the design for this white sailor suit. I was about 15 or 16, I guess. It was really extreme, even for that time in the late 60s. With huge collars here and enormous flares and a fluorescent purple polo here. And this was just going to be the coolest thing at the dances. And my dear mother made it for me, in spite of the fact that probably everyone was going to scream with laughter at this silly child with his insane costume. And I wore it, and I wore it with pride, and nobody laughed. Everyone loved it. And to me, that sort of symbolic of encouragement and letting, as children, letting us be what we are and finding out what we are truly capable of. Fortunately, a white suit with a polar net wasn't the end of my capabilities, but it was a damn good start that I was able to create it. So I really feel that's helped me later in life too, because pretty much since I was about 21, I have really followed my heart's desire really well, for good and bad. It's mainly good, but it means I'm not very rich right now, but my God, I've learned the things I need to learn in life,
That's priceless.
and experienced what I needed to. Yeah.
Because I guess you can change your programming. It's not easy, but you can change your programming if you're aware of it at least. And you can start that process of
Yes.
changing it. It takes a long time, takes a lot of efforts, it takes a lot of patience and understanding to be able to get through it, to be able to change it.
I actually think, or I know, it's a lifelong process. I'm still dragging up darkness in me and fears and things that need sorting out, and probably always will be. So I see it as just as a continuation through life. But to recognize that in the beginning and work with it, that's the key, I think. Take things one at a time and say, okay, there was that fear and it came from there, and if I take it away, I'm going to be like this, and get on and being it. Oh, here comes another fear. Oh, well, let's see what this one's all about, and how am I going to get better from this? When we start on that journey, then it's really powerful.
Yeah, I guess like the way we've been programmed, whenever we dream of something, of doing something, or pursuing some path that hasn't been familiar to us or hasn't been approved by our surroundings, that you can do that, and then it's like it takes a gut, it takes something that you need to have, like some type of encouragement that everybody doubt me, nobody thinks I can do it. Then the first thing that creeps in is the self-doubt.
Yes.
And for a good reason, because the whole outside world that you get your approval from, telling you like, oh no, that's never gonna happen. And for poor self-image that we create because of all those years of like just following the path, or like not dare to stand out, we just given up. And there are plenty of things that I know, people that are good, that are funny, that are smart as hell, but they don't dare to follow their intuition and personal skills and their abilities, and they just get a normal job. They're miserable, and they think that's all life has to offer them.
And what you're bringing up there with intuition, to me, all of our so-called psychic abilities are purely tools to help us stay on our real track in life. That's it. There's no witchcraft or weird stuff. It's just working from the heart first and not the head first. and then our psychic abilities come forth and help us recognize, okay, this feels good. No, this doesn't feel good. But hardly any of us recognize what does feel good or not bad, because, as you say, we get trained into thinking this is how it should be, but we experience something else inside and push it down.
Yeah, I guess we don't even get to identify what it is that we love and what it is that we
Yeah.
have passion for and what it is, literally, because we're just thinking outside of us what's good. What does this TV show says is good? What is the luxury?
Yes.
How do you define luxury? Oh, by looking at Instagram and find that, oh, this is the luxury life. But you don't see behind the scene those people that put out that image. They're miserable as hell.
Yeah.
And it's just doing it for the
Oh.
gram, as they say it nowadays. And then you cannot find meaning in it. And when it's meaningless, when you
Yeah.
reach it, you're like, I've done all that hard work to get here and feel nothing. You think like if I become rich, you think if I become famous and rich, then everything else is just fall into the place for me, and I'm not gonna feel miserable. I'm not gonna feel this hole
Yeah.
inside me that I cannot fill it up. And then you do spend half of your life to reach that position. When you reach it, and you're like, shit, it got worse. It didn't get better, it got worse. Now I'm like, nothing can make me happy. Before, like, small things could make me happy, could give me satisfaction, but now I have the capability to buy anything that I wish for, and it's like just another item,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
another thing that I have.
Yeah.
And
I know.
it might be fun for a couple hours or a couple days, but then it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, so what now?
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you realize, no, it's not supposed to be. You shouldn't supposed to find your true passion and your true happiness in the outside world. You should look inward. You should look inward and really figure out what it is that you love to do.
You mean the meaning of life is not an even bigger television?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
being facetious. Sorry.
Yeah.
While you're talking, I was just thinking, Marnie, when I was not so small child either, but sort of under 10, I remember three things that I really was fascinated about when I was going to grow up. One of them was I wanted to be magic, whatever that meant as a child, but that was my thing. The other one was that there was a cartoon show on TV called The Thunderbirds. It's actually still on. And they help people in trouble. They made the world a better place because they saved people and made their lives better. So those two things most definitely wanted to do. And then the third one was I wanted to be able to talk to angels. And here I am, 70 years old, and I do all these things. And yet you think, God, what a child, what a wacko, you know. How's that going to help the economy, talking to angels and blah, 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 and being magic? But it does, and it did, and it has done nearly my whole life. So I guess what I'm saying is I consider myself blessed that I recognize that these things were real. The possibilities to do these things were real, and I've had the chance most of my life to do just that, you know, in different ways. I didn't become a Thunderbirds pilot, damn it all, but I do work very much with improving humanity. That's the theme of my life, and the group I work with, the Shen Foundation, that their motto is upgrade humanity. And that's really been behind most of what I've done. Magic to me is a little bit like what we'll talk about eventually with the psychic stuff. And I do work with angels. Angels are just beings that are here to support us. So it's a daily occurrence. Yeah. So I'm saying all this because, you know, it doesn't have to be hopeless and and uphill all the way. You know, we will always have challenges, always have fears and things to work out and improve our self-respect. As you said, that's been a biggie my whole life, but it's part of the deal.
I think you have been dealt a good set of cards by your parents.
Yes.
Having them as your parents.
I'm so grateful for them.
Helped
You
your
cannot believe.
creativity and sense of imagination.
They were very, very adventurous people. One of the things they did when I was 8 years old, we had lived in Singapore, and at that time it was very difficult to leave New Zealand. And my parents decided that they were going to take us around the world. And they did just that. 4 small children. I was the eldest at 8, the youngest was 2. And my dad bought a Kombi van, flew it to Calcutta. We came afterwards and drove all the way to Scotland, which took, I guess, 6 months. And then took another adventure back to New Zealand by ship. And that was amazing. And it was extremely naive of them and very dangerous. Some parts of your country didn't even have roads when we were there. We followed the camels across the desert in this Kombi. But we made it. So, you know, yes, I'm very, very thankful for these crazy people. We survived most of their adventures.
They have enough knowledge to let you just let your imagination drive wild and
Yes.
figure out what you are and what you want.
Absolutely. There's one more thing on the other side I would like to quickly mention. So when I was about 19 or 20, I was studying to be a landscape designer, but got offered, well, I left university because it wasn't quite the course I wanted to do, and got offered a job working with chemicals, hair chemicals, checking them, researching them, developing things, which I was good at chemistry, so I could do the job. And for a 19-year-old, it was really good money. So I took the job for 1 year and did it reasonably well. But I felt terrible. I just felt like I should just die. And I realized subconsciously, or consciously, okay, I'm doing this, it's good money, but if I keep going like this, I'm going to kill myself in a few years. It's just so wrong. And that was my first experience of really trusting my inner intuition. And after that, I promised myself never ever do anything again that doesn't feel, yes, this is right. It sits right in the heart, which that job never did. I did it for the money. So those two, having those parents and that really tough year, set me up. So there was no choice. Just get on with following the heart.
It's interesting that you say that, because there is this Japanese wisdom kind of chart that helps you to identify your purpose in life.
Okay.
They call it ikigai.
Aha.
Or maybe I mispronounced it, I don't know.
That's good enough for us.
Ikigai.
Sorry, Japanese.
We're going to call it ikigai. And it's very simple, and I love the simplicity about it, because you're already confused.
Yes.
When you talk about what is my purpose, you're already lost. So it doesn't help if I give you like a book of different information and how you have to do this, and after 2 months you have to figure that out, and you talk to your psychologist, and then you go talk to your career advisor, and then this and that, and then finally after like 35 years you're going to figure out what's your purpose in life would be if you try.
Yes.
But this is very simple. It's like 4 circles, and the top circle is what you love. The left circle is what you're good at. The bottom circle is what you can be paid for. And the right circle is what the world needs.
Okay. Wow.
And these all 4 are intertwined. So the part that what you're good at and what you can be paid for share is your profession.
Ah,
You can find the profession that share those qualities about you. And the part that what you are good at and what you love, that those combination includes your passion.
yes.
It tells you what your passion is in life. And what you love and what the world needs can be your mission. And of course, what you can be paid for and what the world needs is the vocation, the opportunity to make money. And if you can find something that have all these elements
Oh,
included, that's Ikagi.
oh, I love it.
That's your Ikagi. And I know people who are successful and they have, there might be people who have all of them as like they find their Ikagi. But even if you don't find your Ikagi in one thing that you're doing, at least you identify what it is. Either your mission, your passion, your profession, your vocation, whatever it is. At least you identify what you love,
Yes.
and you're going to be successful. Because it's impossible. If you love something, if you love doing something, as an old saying, it's like if you don't want to work a day in your life, find something you love and do that.
Yeah.
That's just
True.
like a very
Yeah.
cliche saying,
Yeah.
but it makes sense because as I was talking to my friend, I was saying like I feel like I find my Ikagi with this because nobody forced me to do anything. I'm self-motivated.
Yeah.
I'm planning for it. I'm trying to like give energy, good positive energy to people around me about it. It's like I found my mission, my passion, my profession, my vocation all in one thing. And
Woohoo.
it feels like I've been in somehow, I don't know if I've been guided and directed by my higher self
Of course, I'm sure you have.
to
Yeah.
put me in that path,
Mm.
because I wasn't listening to all these watch and listen to all these documentary and speeches to learn about these topics that we talk about in this podcast. My attention never was to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to enough of this to be able to talk about them in my own podcast.
Yeah.
No, I was just interested in them, in these topics. I would love to just listen, and that was my hobby. That was my interest.
Yes.
And by the time that we decided to start this, I was like, oh, I've been preparing for this almost my whole life, from the time I was 9-year-old.
It's
So
fantastic, Mani.
in
Wow.
different ways and different
Yeah.
how do you say anyway, it was just the preparation to do something with it, and that was never my attempt to do anything with it. But suddenly we're here and talking and trying to share something, trying to make sense out of all
Yeah.
these seemingly
Yeah.
separated
Wow.
topics, and
Yes.
try to connect the dots. So my point by saying that was that this should be taught in like grade school, or
Yes.
what do you call it,
Yeah. Yeah. Grade school.
elementary school.
Thank you, God. The voice off.
This should be taught, like especially for the kid to like figure out, oh, what I love, what do I love? I love animals. Oh, okay. And just next circle, what is it that you can be paid for? Maybe taking care of animals.
Mm.
Yeah, great. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to be top of the top of whatever.
Mm.
It doesn't matter, as long as you're happy, you're satisfied, you get paid enough to have a fulfilled life.
Yes.
Who cares? And the point is you're happy, because
Yes.
people think if they gain enough money, a lot of money, not enough, a lot of money to be able to, I don't know, go travel to this beach and with the see-through water and this and that, then they're gonna be happy. But that's not the point. You're
Yeah.
not gonna be happy. You're
No.
just gonna go there and feel like more empty because you
Empty-
came here to heal your soul, and you're like,
More empty with see-through
doesn't
water.
want all the shit that I've been dealing with to get here.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm 38, and this was the first time I came across such a topic, such a wisdom
Yeah.
that tells me in like 5 minutes, and it's very understandable for
Oh,
anybody.
It's great.
It's
yeah.
easy to digest.
Yes.
It's not a book. It doesn't have 500 pages that you have to go through and don't get half of it. It's just simple. It's an image, and you
Thank
can
you,
just
Japan.
do it. Yeah, exactly.
Japanese.
And I'm sure there are plenty of like these simple concepts that is self-explanatory and tells you everything that you need to know, and it enhances your perception on whatever it is that wants to enhance your perception on. And you can just get it, understand it, and go with it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it seems like that's not the point with our education system, with our,
Mm.
they're not trying to clarify things for us. They try to confuse us.
Yes. Yeah.
They try to hold us down and
Preparing us to serve the capitalists.
exactly to just serve the purpose that they want us to serve,
Yes.
and nothing more. And they ridicule you, they destroy you if you want to stand out and do something that is like out of ordinary and makes people question things.
The tall poppy syndrome, as it's called.
What's that?
The tall poppy.
The tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you grow taller than the other flowers, someone will come and clip you off
Exactly.
because you make the other flowers look less,
Yeah.
and you're not growing how you should.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the point.
No.
We are different. We are different. We have different abilities, and we are completing each other.
Yes.
We are tribal. We need other people to be able to survive.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm not talking in sense of like essential. I'm talking about in sense of emotionally. We need other people to be able to survive, to be able to stay humans.
Yes.
Otherwise, we just become like a robot or whatever. And that's something that is almost with the social media and internet and everything that get kind of how do you say as it goes in day-to-day life, we less and less have human connection, have face-to-face
Yes.
conversations, and digitalized.
That's a good
Everything-
word for it. Yes.
That's the word I was
digitalized.
thinking
yes.
about. Yeah, like everything's getting digitalized, and you don't even have to for your groceries. You don't even have to go to the store. You just order it online and then pick it up. And in the pickup department, you don't even have to see anyone. You just enter your code, and the fridge opens, and you grab your groceries. So, like minimum human connection. Like you don't need to see it, and it is going that way. Like everything's going to be like that. I think a school's going to be like that,
Oh goodness.
which has pros and cons. Because I think about it and I discuss it with my friend, and it can be, if the AI would be your teacher, it can be a lot more personalized and
Okay.
spend a lot more analyzing on you only, and it can create this which is without AI we cannot do. We cannot have a teacher specific to one person, to one kid.
Mm.
We need to have them in the group, and unfortunately we don't care that much to separate, at least categorize those groups to
Sure.
similar people
Yeah.
get to one group. And I think with the AI, we're gonna be able to have personal teachers for kids
Okay.
and very like individualize
Mhm.
their lessons and whatever, and identify what they like and what they're good at. All this ikigai, sorry, that you might need in the future. But they're gonna lack human connection. They're gonna lack
Yeah.
social skills.
Mm.
And maybe we can do something about that. Have separate days that
Yeah.
there's no teaching, there's just
Maybe could combine it in different functions of education.
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
So that can be the way that it goes, and I think it would go that way.